Okay, welcome everybody. We have Megan Kamei from Canada back. This is her third time on our platform because people simply loved her message so much on the previous two. Megan, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love chatting with you. It's as we connect and talk with each other, we learn from each other, and that's a beautiful thing.
Definitely, and today I'm going to learn from you a lot. I recently wrote a booklet called 12 Universal Laws to Propel You into Success. Now, how to use these laws to propel you into success. And I'm actually doing this booklet at companies. There aren't only 12 laws, there are more than 12 laws. I just used these 12 that resonates with me in this booklet. So Megan and I was speaking recently, and she was speaking of the law of resonance. Am I saying that right?
Yes, indeed, you are.
So the law of resonance is not in my book simply because I've never heard of it until Megan mentioned it. So, so today we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to learn today because, like I said, I've never heard of this law before. I don't really know what Megan is going to say. I don't know what the law is about. So, Megan, tell us a bit about the law of resonance.
For sure. So, for those who don't know, I teach on manifestation. And when we look at it, everybody's coming to manifestation usually because they want to create something, they want a certain result. There's something they don't like, they want to change it to something they do like. And
Can you,
so,
before
to
you go on, just explain manifestation because some people be like, okay, what is manifestation? Because you say you teach on manifestation.
yeah, manifestation is very simple. It's just taking something from a thought or an idea into physical form. It's
Brilliant.
You could interchange manifestation with creation. And so and we're all doing it all the time. It's not a woo-woo thing that's like magical thinking or anything. We're all creating all the time. What typically happens for a lot of people, though, is they're creating a lot of things that they don't want to. And so when we begin to understand that creation process is just innately happening all the time through all of us, and how that process works, then we're able to start to make some tweaks to start changing it into getting and creating results that we would prefer. And that's where the law of resonance is really helpful to understand so that we can shift our results into ones. So your book was on, the 12 laws for creating success, was in and around that theme.
I call it 12 laws to propel you into success. So how do you, because the 12 laws, they exist. It's not 12 laws of success, but how to use these 12 laws. The first law I speak about is the law of mentalism. I don't know if there's a connection between mentalism and resonance.
I think there's honestly a lot of these laws that they've written from different angles. A lot of them are really coming at very similar stuff, just from
Yeah,
different
definitely.
perspectives. And they're saying a lot of the same stuff. And so the law of resonance just basically is stating, first and foremost, before we understand the law of resonance, we have to understand the primary law, which is the law of vibration.
Yeah.
So vibration states that everything vibrates. We live in an ocean of motion. If we zoom in on anything, you're going to see it's made up of atoms, which are made up of protons, neutrons, electrons, which are energy. That energy is vibrating. Things have this appearance, or we feel like things are solid or whatever because of the rate of vibration, how light's reflecting off of it and all that. So with everything vibrating, it's all vibrating at different frequencies, different speeds and things like this. And everything from solid, what we think is solid, to emotions, to light, to color, to shape, sound, all of it. It's all energy vibrating. So when we know that is the mechanism of the universe, of everything that exists, and the rate of vibration gives different appearances and different experiences, we understand that's the language of the universe. So if we want to begin to work in harmony and have a better, I don't want to use the word control, but for lack of a better word, control over what we're experiencing, we need to speak that same language. And the law of resonance states that what you are vibrating is what you're going to resonate with, and what you're going to essentially activate in your reality. And this is where my explanation, because of the way that I explain things, is going to get more mystical and spiritual, maybe, than more practical and science based. But this is the way that I explain it. So with the law of resonance, when you are, say, I'll use a more practical example. Say if you're in a bad mood and you're feeling low, you're feeling sad. That is that emotion, that feeling. So feeling is the word that we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we are in. So you're feeling sad. You're in a vibration of sadness. And you're going to notice if you kind of go out, you're going to see something and you're going to feel more sad. You're going to see, oh, there's someone sitting by themselves and you feel sad, more sad. And you're going to pick up on things in your environment that are in harmony with sadness.
That's good.
It's that we hear, even the snowball effect. You stub your toe in the morning and then another bad thing happens and it just keeps going. Versus if you're in a really good mood and you go out and you're like, oh man, and you smile at someone, they smile at you back, and all the lights are green and all this kind of thing as you're driving down the road. Because you're vibrating at that frequency, therefore you are resonating with things of a similar frequency. This is very, very comparable to the law of attraction. What you put out is what comes back to you. And I have a little video, if I can share it with you, that is a great way to illustrate this. So this isn't fancy or anything, it's just out of one of my presentations. But if we use the example of sound, so sound is energy vibrating. And there's this idea or the concept, like if an opera singer sings at a super high level, high note, they'll shatter glass.
Wow, okay.
What's happening is like that vibration of that sound is in resonance with the glass and it shatters. So in this video here, do you know what a tuning fork is? Are you familiar with those?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who aren't, it's just basically a fork and they're in all different sizes, like what this gentleman's holding on to here. And they are of different frequencies. So he's got one right here that's 512 hertz. That's what that stands for. And then another one that's 440 hertz. And he's going to be hitting the one here, 512. And then he brings another one out. So that one was a different. Now we have the same hertz, and you can notice when he hits this one, it vibrates. The other one is activated. It also vibrates because they're in resonance. I'm just going to play that again in case you missed the first part. So that's 512. You can see 440 is not moving. It's not activated. They're not in resonance. Now he brings out the other one again of 440. They are in resonance, and the other one activates. So this is a really cool way to show and illustrate the law of resonance. So that's what you are vibrating is what you activate in your reality.
I had a friend, I still have him. He once sent me this video, and I was thinking about this video when you showed this one and where you speak about the law of resonance. And I want to know if this is an accurate comparison. He sent me this video where the video basically said, if you want a husband, stop thinking like a girlfriend, start thinking like a wife. Mm-hmm. Because a wife attracts a husband, a girlfriend attracts a boyfriend. Is it the same? Okay.
I would say that, like, if we look at it very, like, if we put it into boxes, because our brain likes to put things into boxes, and it's not how it is, but we do it so that we can begin to understand these things.
Yeah.
We put it as vibrations. I love to use the map of consciousness. I think I brought it up possibly in our previous.
I love that. I still use it today. Like when I see people one-on-one, it's brilliant. I love it.
So David Hawkins used emotions to map out human consciousness. So if we even looked at these emotions as frequencies, as levels of vibration, so we have starting down from shame, guilt, apathy, grief, we got pride, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment all the way. So, and everything in between. So if you are, for example, if we want to use the theme of attracting a partner, if you are in a vibration of people, it's hard to find love, people are difficult and mean, disappoint me, I get rejected, and that's what you're feeling, that's what you activate in your reality. So you're going to attract partners that reject you, that don't support you, that are unloving and things like this. So, and also when you're really wanting something, when you really want something, that means you lack it. right? So when we put something up on a pedestal, like, oh, I really want a husband or I really want a wife or a partner, wouldn't it be so nice?
Mm.
You're at a distance from it because it's not something that is who you are being. So you're not being that energy of being in loving relationship. You're being in an energy of lacking loving relationship. So you're in resonance with lack, therefore you experience that in your reality. So if we look at it like linearly like that and think, okay, what is it that I want to experience in my reality? How do I vibrate that so that I'm in resonance with that, so that I attract it? And that's where we really start to like do the dance of shifting energy and vibration in order to see different results happening. And that conversation could go on for hours in terms of how to do that. But yes, ultimately you want to, even Jesus said it, he's like, when you ask for something, believe that you already have it, not that you will have it or that you're going to have it. You shift into a state of being now, of that vibrational reality, of that state of being, of that experience. Therefore, that's what you're vibrating. That's the vibrational frequency level that you're on. Therefore, you resonate with that and you activate it in your reality. All the realities exist all at once. Our human experience here, if you look at it like a video game, the person who programs the video game creates all the outcomes, all the levels and everything, all the different experiences. It's already a done deal. You enter the video game and you navigate it with your controller or whatever. So we enter the human experience and we navigate it with our thoughts, feelings, emotions.
I
So
want to
all
ask.
those abilities exist. You activate them and enter into that reality based on vibration energy.
I want to ask this, and it's just a thought that I have now. So say for instance, and you hear this a lot, people say, I want to lose weight, but I'm struggling to lose weight. And I'm just using this as an example. Now I'm going to use pounds as an example because you guys work in pounds. I don't understand pounds, so this might be a very weird example. But say for instance, you weigh 200 pounds. Now I don't know if that's like a lot or just like because we live in kilograms. But say for instance, somebody who weighs 200 pounds and they want to go to 170, for instance. And now they come and they weigh themselves every single day. Every single morning they climb on the scale, they weigh themselves. And it's kind of like this trying and striving. And I didn't lose weight, or I just lost 1 pound. I want to lose more. Is that like kind of working against the law?
Yeah. If I ever work with anybody and that's something that they're wanting to work on, I tell them to get rid of the scale and to let go of the outcome. When we're
Wow.
very attached to the outcome, that creates resistance, it creates impatience, it creates frustration because we are continually comparing to that end result, and then we get out of vibrational alignment with it because we feel I'm not 170 pounds and I'm not this. Now we're vibrating, I'm not, it's not working. Why is it not working for me? And that's the vibration. Therefore, the universe has no choice but to say yes to us. So then we just get more of, yeah, you're not 170 pounds. Yeah, you haven't, it's not happening for you. So that's your vibrational state. And therefore you get that reality. It comes to a point where you almost have to be delusional, and you got to stop taking your cues from the physical reality, because what's physically in front of us right now is manifested from our previous ways of vibrating and thinking and feeling. So if we keep taking our cues on how to vibrate and feel from the previous manifestation, we're going to keep repeating and just staying in the same cycle. So we have to almost ignore it and think new thoughts and feel new things in order to see that manifest in our reality, or to appear and materialize in our reality. And that can be very difficult for a lot of people to do because we are so attached to the physical, and it can feel like, oh, I'm sticking my head in the sand, or I'm ignoring my reality. And go ahead and keep believing that and then keep getting the same results. There does need to be a new cycle created in order to break free from the old one, and that takes some definite mental strength and discipline for sure.
So say for instance, I weigh 200. I don't know, is 200 pounds a lot? Is that like very much overweight, or is it normal, or?
For a man, it depends. If you got a lot of muscle, that would be a decent, and you're taller, that would be a
Okay, so
fine
it's,
weight.
so it's fine if we use that as an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a woman, probably not so much.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering, like, are they speaking of obese people or so? What's going on? I
For
don't know
some people,
Pels people,
100
so
pounds to be overweight for sure. But again, it depends on the build. So
okay.
just go for it.
Okay, so say for instance, I say, um, let's say for instance, I weigh 200 pounds and I dress like, let's say comfortably, I dress t-shirts, I dress in, easy stretchy pants and stuff like that. And I say, when I weigh 170, then I'm going to start wearing jeans, then I'm going to start wearing button shirts. Will it be like a good thing to say, I'm going to dress as if I'm weighing 170 already? Is that like working with the law? I'm gonna kind of like act and dress as if I'm that person already.
Yep, you need to that's one of the things I always encourage people to do if they have a reality that they're wanting to experience, and they're putting it off based on a certain circumstance. I always would suggest to bring that reality into the present moment as much as you can. So dressing in a way that you love your body, that you're proud of your body, and things like that. Um, Feeling it, talking to yourself in a way, having thoughts and feelings of gratitude for the body that you have, and really just shifting. We want to, the only moment you create is now. You don't create in the future, you don't create in the past. It's not useful for you to put your creation off in the future. That's just kind of an illusion or whatever.
Mm.
So the energy has to happen right now. We have to feel it now. And then there is a bit of delay in the 3D reality catching up to the vibrational reality. So we've got to keep faith and be patient as that is happening. But you've got to, that vibrational has to be now, not down the road. So if dressing in a way, like what the example that you use makes you feel good, makes you feel proud of who you are, gives you confidence, then definitely do it now. But anything that you do is useful to the extent that it's shifting how you feel in the moment.
So,
So that would answer any question like, is this practice helpful for me? Should I do this thing? Should I do that thing? Should I journal? Should I do vision boards and affirmations? As long as it makes you feel into the vibrational energy that is what you want to feel right now, then go for it.
I want to use another example. So say for instance, I'm a rock star. I'm not one at the moment. Used to be. I know I look like one, but say for instance, I'm a rock star, and I want to have 1,000 people at my show, but only three show up. Okay.
Mm.
Do I play to those three as if they are 1,000, and I feel kind of like the emotion and the excitement and the gratitude as if I'm playing for 1,000 people, although there are only three people in the crowd?
Of course, most definitely. It reminds me of a story that Bob Proctor shared. I went to his couple of his events, and when he was starting, do you know you're familiar with Bob
Oh,
Proctor?
definitely, definitely. I love him.
So, and would your audience be familiar with him?
Yeah, well, I talk about him a lot, so otherwise they're not watching my videos.
Okay. So obviously, he was one. He's passed away a couple of years ago, but he's been one of the big names in self development. And when he started out, he said like he had the vision of this company that he wanted to impact people all over the world. He was just getting started, and him and a couple of his guys, they're going to do a seminar. They rented an auditorium, and I think it sat about 2,000 people, and they sent out flyers. They were like, "Oh, we're going to pack this place out." They're so excited, and on it goes. And they show up, and I think there was maybe about 6 people that showed up for the seminar, and they were in the back, and they were just feeling that like disappointment and like, wow, like had this idea of like what the reality was that he's creating, and then the physical reality didn't reflect that back to him. And he went, and they were like, and the one of the guys was like, we should just cancel it. And Bob was like, no, we're delivering the seminar as if there's 2,000 people. And they did, with the full passion, with everything, and doing that. And then look at where
Wow.
his career went. He impacted millions of lives all over the world. So that is the true test. And if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, there's in the chapter on persistence, it talks about like this unseen guide that when we say we want this thing, there's something we want to achieve or experience, the universe is kind of like, are you sure? Like, do you really want it? And are you, do you have capacity to sustain what it is that you say that you would like to experience. Because we get these big ideas of everything we want to do, but our energetic capacity to hold space for that life and everything that's involved with it isn't necessarily, we're not in resonance with that yet. So we have an opportunity to kind of prove ourselves, to be like, yes, I am in resonance with this. And then that guide is like, after you kind of prove yourself a little bit, then it's like it unleashes it and you see that manifestation happen.
So what I'm thinking about now, say for instance the Bob Proctor. Okay, let's use the rock star example again. Okay, so say for instance I have a show, and you tell me, I'll be there. I will come to your show. I'll buy a ticket. And now I look at my things, and you haven't bought a ticket yet. If I phone you and I say, listen, remember the show is this time. You have to buy a ticket. Am I then working with the law or against the law? Is that like a good or a bad thing to say to somebody? I want to invite you. I just want to remind you it's going to happen.
Well, there's multiple answers to that question. So the first answer would be, it depends on your energy with
Okay.
that question. Because if think about the person who is like, have you ever been pursued by or a woman that's like, she's wanted you and is very needy, and she's like trying to get your attention, and you felt like, okay, like this is a bit like she's being clingy, or it's a little bit kind of,
Okay,
it
before I answer that question, what if they are watching right now?
it's okay. All love and
Let's
light.
say no. I don't know what it's feeling like now. No,
Friend, any individual, any person.
it's kind of like you feel repelled by it.
Yeah. So that's this again, you're not that energy, a neediness energy is a lacking energy, which is a not having energy, which is not in resonance with having. So if we are, have you bought your ticket? Have you bought your ticket? It's like that energy is like needy. It's like
Okay.
it's kind of this feeling of people aren't going to show up. You're not, who's coming, And that's not, if you were a super famous rock star person, there's no doubt in your mind that you've packed out the theater. You're not going to be chasing people to buy tickets. People are going to be chasing you to get tickets.
Yeah.
So, and when we are able to make that flip with our energy from neediness to, I'm the prize and I love myself and I'm complete myself and I fully love and accept myself and I think I'm wonderful. And I love everybody. And, it's not like I'm better than you kind of thing, but it's this idea of like, be in my world if you would like to, but if you don't, it's okay. Like there's not
Okay.
I need to get you in. And then that is a very magnetic energy. When you're just like cool with or without that person, if you're just like, I'm marching to the beat of my own drum, I'm happy, I love my life, I'm proud of who I am, and on it goes. People, interestingly enough, are very drawn to that, and they feel good to be around that energy. So again, that person who's in a place of confidence and security in themselves isn't going to be chasing people, because it doesn't really matter whether you come or not, because that energy is going to come from needing validation from other people in order for you to feel good about yourself, for you to feel successful, for you to be valuable and worthy. So that's going to be pointing to some more underlying issues of you're putting on the concert because you want people to show up, not for the love of music, not for the love of the art. And then, that's where people are more on based on, I'm doing something for the end result versus the love of the process. And again, that's a whole nother dynamic.
So you have to, what I'm hearing you saying is you have to kind of like detach yourself from the end result and kind of and you have to get involved with the mere love of doing it.
Yeah.
wanna,
There is a gap between where you are and where you want to be. The secret to closing that gap is falling in love with the gap.
wow. I'm going to quote you on that. It's very good.
So, and this is why people suffer endlessly, because we have the end result that's in our mind that we want. But that end result is that carrot on the stick hanging in front of you, and you will go your whole life and miss out on life entirely.
That's very good. I want to ask you one final thing. Thank you again for your time. I don't know if you remember my friend Hendrik. You once met him, and we were on a Zoom together. I actually, so I'm busy with with material that I'm writing on renewing the mind, and I was thinking when you spoke about Bob Proctor, like I was writing the third part of the material today, and I was thinking like maybe I shouldn't quote Bob Proctor and Joe Dispenza so much. um, but anyway,
Wonderful to quote. Yeah, they say a lot of good stuff. So
so I was reading this idea where Joe Dispenza spoke about, you know, the atom. I think he said it's 99.9% energy and only like 0.1% matter. And he said when you put atoms together, you get a molecule. When you put more, you get a chemical. Then it goes to the tissue or the cell, the tissue, the organ, the system, the body, which says that your body is 99, almost like 99.9% energy. So I asked Hendrik about this, and I said to him, do you believe we are literally like 99.9% energy? And he's like, no, I believe we're 100% energy. Even the matter part of us is energy. So I was like, so
because okay,
this is my
keep going.
question. Is mind energy, or does mind only affect energy?
Everything's energy.
Okay. So,
There's nothing exempt from it. Like everything's energy. Love is energy. Everything is love. That's what everything's made up of, if we can even use that word.
mm,
Nothing is exempt from that. And even that whole idea of like there's a difference between energy and particle. Again, that particle thing is even arguable, that it is in fact like this somehow solid thing that we are desperately trying to cling on to as humans, that it's solid.
yeah, because like
um,
also like as I'm speaking to you, let me just as I'm speaking to you, it's kind of like I do feel this kind of like this excitement that I'm going to do this more and I'm going to let go more and I'm going to trust more and I'm not going to, you know, it's kind of like, and you're sitting in Canada and it's like another time of the day. But that just shows how energy is transferable. And the thing that I'm hearing is, to quote, not to quote, to quote, to refer to Joe Dispenza again, he has this whole thing about mind and heart coherence. And he says there has to be a connection between what you think, what you feel, imagine it, and feel as if you already have it. And that is kind of like the idea that we want to work with.
Yes, it is. And for some people, this is easier than others. Like we kind of all come in with our package of tools and ways of thinking and belief systems and all that kind of thing. So for some people, they might have a more of an uphill battle when it comes to bringing that coherence in. And then, you know, others, it's just, it comes more naturally. So I always encourage people, don't beat yourself up, you know, don't be hard on yourselves. Be like, man, like, why am I not getting this? Because I've worked with a spectrum of clients, and I do find oftentimes men have a little bit harder time getting into that mind heart coherence, getting into the emotion of it, where they're just like, I can't emotionalize it. Like I have the thoughts and the logic and everything in here, but I'm having a really hard time feeling into it. There seems to be something stuck there that I'm not able to do. And there's two sides to the healing process, that transformation process. It's the masculine and the
Yeah.
feminine. Masculine is very much about information and learning and wisdom and logic and understanding and all that. And then love is the feminine side, the feminine side of healing is about feeling into it, feeling through it. And it's much, and we use our emotions, we allow the emotions to be processed and all that kind of thing, and think of Jesus.
Mhm.
And these are two aspects that, you know, we're kind of the masculine and feminine that we're dancing with. And you might think mind is more masculine and heart as more feminine. And we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. And we're kind of learning to bring that, think about the yin yang symbol, that harmony and that working together with those two sides are both very valuable. And we're going to experience them in different ways throughout our lifetime. And, but that's a beautiful journey to be on. No pressure, but I think it's fun to explore diving into. the emotion, the energy, and the feeling of things, and to letting go, surrendering to the current moment and the circumstances, whatever those are, and allowing yourself to kind of go with the current of life. It will take you wherever you need to go.
Um, I my therapist always says this to me because he says I'm in my logical mind a lot. So there's like a lot of times like he creates these scenarios and then I'm trying to explain myself and he's like, I know, Albert, I know. I'm not, I don't want you to explain yourself. I just want you to feel. So, and it's always every single session is that reaction. I know. I don't want you to reason with me. I just want you to feel.
And that is and it can be scary, right? Because sometimes if we just allow the feeling to there, we lose control. There's a sense of like, I'm losing control.
Yeah,
And then that's scary. So we're like, nope, I'm not going there. I don't want to do that. Or I don't like because some people who feel very deeply, and maybe that is you might be that way. You might feel very deeply. And because you do, you want to avoid it. So you want to stay
definitely.
logical to like avoid that, like, I don't know what to do in this space. And I see that for a lot of people, but there is something really beautiful on the other side of surrendering to that. And it's pretty cool to experience.
He told me, he told me that I must become comfortable with the discomfort of feeling.
Yeah. Yes. That's the thing. Like, we come into this human experience for all the emotions. And, if in spirit, everything is just
Yeah.
love and everything, and you're like, someone comes along, would you like to go and have this experience where you get to feel joy and sadness and get your heart broken and get excited and get disappointed and fail over and over again and then finally succeed, and you're like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Sign me up, and away we go. So if we come here and you're like, no, I'm scared, and miss out on the fullness of life, and the spectrum of emotion is to be felt in all its glorious challenges as well as ups and downs, and it's worth the ride. And it's like, think about the roller coaster. It's like you're at the top and you're about to go down. You could close your eyes and just tense up your body and be like so scared and like pass out or whatever, or you could just be like, fall and just go with it and have that experience of letting go and enjoy the ride, because it's a whole lot of fun when you do.
So if I can sum up this whole video, and this is what I think I'm going to call it, let go of control and see results.
There you go. That's the thing. Everything is always working out for our highest good. If we resist, we slow its manifestation, its creation. We slow it coming from us. Our natural state is abundance and freedom and joy and love and all the things that we are after. We have goals because it's not so much we want the goal, we want how the goal is going to make us feel.
Yeah.
And we are already all those things right now, but we're resisting it by trying to make things happen in certain ways and force it. And over here, if you just stop resisting, it naturally just flows to you. It's who you are. You can't help it. So it's not about becoming something you're not. It's about letting go of all this stuff that you are not. And
Wow.
then you're just able to enjoy
Mhm.
you, because you're incredible and you're amazing. But everybody's resisting all of this and trying to go over here and do this kind of thing over there. So letting go and surrendering is really the secret to becoming incredibly powerful. Think about Jesus on the cross, right? The ultimate surrender, when they're like wanting to take his life, and he's just like, I willingly lay it down. He's surrendered and isn't the most powerful being ever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what I think this is the first time I said "ladies and gentlemen" on my YouTube channel. What Megan just said is everything you want, everything you're desiring, everything you're fighting for, everything you're trying to have, you already have it. It's because of control that you are pushing it away. Megan, thank you so much for this. This was amazing. I'm like really excited. It's like quite late in the evening in South Africa, and I won't be able to go to sleep because I'm so excited about what you said. Thank you so much. Our viewers love you. Our channel loves you. The company loves you. Thank you so much for what you do, and I really, really do appreciate you.
Love you all too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Megan. Goodbye.